My video for August 30th, 2019. It's video number 3103. The title is Life is a Scripted Drama with No Real Victims. Is that true or false? Over the decades of my life, I have heard many say that there are no victims in life. I never believed that, even when I wrestled with the concept, trying to come to grips with experiential realities. Those who propose such things seem to be the ones who deny polarity. Yes, as I have said over and over again, polarity is not the problem. Polarization is. I'll try to explain that again in this video. In the meantime, I wrestle with the no victim concept as if life is merely a script, a drama played out for distraction and perverted entertainment. Yes, as my magician friend has told me again and again, magic works by diversion. Still, who or what is engaged in the deception? The real or the no victim idea says we all are. Do we all deceive ourselves? Is human life premeditated and manipulated by demonic elements in all of us? Why do we not have full control of our faculties? And why would we ever agree to allow our most important abilities to be deactivated? Why is discernment such a rare quality? Some have trouble labeling anything as wrong. It's all relative, they say. I say there is a lot of denial going on here. I have been sitting here tweaking that blurb for over an hour. Lights turned on around me and behind me, trying to feel good about recording another video. The truth of the matter is, I am struggling almost every day now to come up with a video because I don't want to be down, and yet I feel down. That's where my emotional state is, one of confusion. It's one of aggravation. And it's one bordering on despair. I'm not totally in despair, but I'm certainly near the border. And this whole idea of eliminating polarity is insane. Because if you eliminate polarity, there's no more light and dark. Everything is nothing. No thing. No contrast. There's no male and female. There's no masculine, feminine. There's no up, down. There's no in, out. Those are all natural polarities of creation. There's nothing wrong with a polarity. And yet so many teachers say we have to eliminate polarity. I still call that bullshit. We have to eliminate polarization. We've got to stop the dark and light forces from fighting with each other, if that's possible. And many say, well, Ron, they're fighting inside of each of us. We all carry the polarities. We all carry them, and we've got to somehow silence everything and get into the space of neutrality. Well, neutrality to me means it doesn't matter. But I never believed that it doesn't matter. I came here with a purpose, with a mission to help bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. The kingdom of heaven to me is one of truth. First and foremost of all, it is truth based on love. I love you enough to tell you the truth. But what is my truth? My truth right now, I just expressed it a little bit ago. It's one of confusion. I used to think I knew answers. I look at the world now and I see more and more confusion everywhere I look. I read things that are put forth by different perspectives, people from different perspectives, and they can both make really good arguments for their position. And they sound reasonable. But they're not. They can't both be right. Well, people say, Ron, but they can both be right. Don't you get it, Ron? They can both be right. No, they can't. It's, and I'm going to get in trouble for this again. It has to either be right or wrong. And my friend Steve would say to me, but you're back into the either or thing, and you keep telling everybody that you believe in both. It's both and. Which is it, Ron? Is it either or is it both and? Well, it's both either or and both and. You see, it's a paradox, an apparent contradiction. That's what a paradox is. It's an apparent contradiction. They're seemingly opposite things, but they're both presenting an aspect of truth. Now, even as I'm saying that, I'm saying, no wonder people are so confused. Ron, what you're saying is confusing. It's not crystal clear. Well, can we have crystal clarity on a planet that, from my perspective, the first part of sentient being creation, angels, were allowed to rebel against the Creator and create worlds of their own, or should I say manipulate worlds of their own, into a polarized culture, society that was always at war, where war became the way of it, where deception was the status quo, where truth was something that became difficult to determine, where love was almost impossible to find. And I hear again the little voice of my friend saying, but we have to start with loving ourselves. Yes. To me, I am loving myself by facing these uncertain realities that I'm wrestling with. I'm admitting my own confusion. That's the beginning of telling the truth. It's like a person who's lost in habits that they have no control over, and the first step is to admit that they're an addict. Okay, I'm going to Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, etc. The first step is admitting that you are the problem. Well, yes, I recognize that I am the problem, or more correctly, that the problem is part of my experiential life. But when I try to step back and analyze it, hey, wait a minute. I didn't create this mess. I don't remember what preceded this lifetime. And even though I've had some glimpses of past lives, I don't understand, I don't comprehend the bigger picture of how this whole thing is supposed to make sense. It doesn't seem loving to me. It doesn't seem truthful to me. There is no kindness in it. There is no justice in it. And people say, but Ron, it is just us. We're doing it all to ourselves. No, we're not. We're not victims, they say. Yes, we are. We're all victims of ignorance, if nothing else. We're victims of not knowing the bigger picture, of not being able to recognize a higher truth, a greater reality. And certainly, we're incapable, oftentimes, of finding love within ourselves because we've been told again and again, we're sinners, excuse me, we're bad. And there is the catch-22. How are we going to break free from this dilemma of deception? I don't know. But I do think that this is scripted and that all of us are victims of a miscreation. Thank you folks for listening, and namaste.